Ever wondered what lengths people will go to exact revenge? Prepare to be amazed, outraged, and shocked as we delve into the mysterious world of pro-revenge. From cunning masterminds to unexpected twists, these stories will keep you on the edge of your seat. Hey, what's up guys, it's Breezy Reads, back with another Reddit reading. Today we are diving into the sub Pro-Revenge. In this subreddit, users share stories of carefully planned and executed revenge against those who have wronged them. But beware, as the line between justice and revenge can be blurred. Join me as we explore these gripping tales of revenge and discover the shocking twists and turns that lie ahead. Will justice prevail, or will revenge consume our protagonists? Only time will tell. So sit back, relax, and prepare to be captivated by the mysterious world of pro-revenge. My mother ruined my life, so I made sure she ruined her own life with the same lies she told that ruined mine. My mother is a textbook narcissist parent, so when I, at the age of 6, called my family crying because I knew something was wrong and she didn't love me, my mother decided to punish me for ruining her image. She spun this story to my family. I was a pathological liar, and I was brainwashed by her mother to ruin her life. She effectively cut me off from all my family and the outside world and made sure I had no internet or cell phone access until I moved out. She prevented me from getting a job and tried sabotaging my efforts to get into college. I went through hell in that house. When I was younger, I retaliated in immature ways, but as I got older, I was very careful with how I talked to her. I only ever told her the truth. Remember, she convinced herself that I was a pathological liar, so if I tell her the truth now, she will think whatever I say is intended to hurt her. If I say, "You should bring an umbrella today, it looks like rain," she will make a point not to bring one despite me and get caught in the rain. If a friend says something similar to what I said and was genuinely trying to help her, my mom would think that person is her enemy and remove them from her life. She only has nasty people in her life since she's removed herself from everyone who cared. Some examples if you care to read. I would tell her about her friends that were plotting behind her back. She didn't believe me and hung out with them even more. They put her name on the payment for an object she doesn't have and has to pay tens of thousands of dollars for. You can't say I didn't warn her. When she had job issues, I would tell her exactly what she was doing wrong and why people don't like working with angry, difficult people. She thought I was trying to hurt her, so she doubled down on her behavior. I hear she's fighting to keep her job. Would suck to be fired right before retirement. You can't say I didn't warn her. She called me looking for advice. LOL, right? She was basically going to fly across the country to go stalk someone, and I told her not to do that. He'll dislike her even more, and he would call the police. I got in touch with her dad to try and stop her. She went because now she was convinced that it would work. The poor guy was hiding in his workplace while she was outside crying for him to come outside. You can't say I didn't warn her. I hear she's in therapy now, but it doesn't seem to be working much. I can imagine why. It must be a very upsetting experience to have a professional tell you the same lies that your pathological liar of a daughter told you. I think this is how you kill someone with kindness. How could you convince yourself that your own child, is a pathological liar and then cut them off from their entire family? How crazy of a parent and how controlling do you have to be to do that? This woman needs insane mental help. Pay your tattoo artist. This happened when I was young. Heard it secondhand from my grandmother, who the main character of the cast lived with at the time. My uncle's ex-girlfriend was an all-around horrible person, abusive babysitter, got my uncle into bad crowds and legal trouble, and dabbed him so many substances from A to Z. She was also heavily tatted. There was an artist, the star of the story, who was a family friend. Great dude, insane work. She asked him to do a piece for her. Huge, intricate angel wings. Oh, the irony. Across her back. He agrees. It takes several sessions across weeks. She reportedly has to postpone payment, but he's chill, family friend, yada yada, until it comes to the last session, when it slips that she doesn't have the money, and more importantly, won't have the money, ever. Now, the pro-revenge. No collection agency, no refusal to continue. He smiles, weighs it off, and says he'll finish up, no charge. It's gonna be a great piece, legendary, one for the history books, he guarantees. She's stoked. So right between those gorgeous wings, right up her spine, this idiot now has a massive, veiny male appendage proudly standing up at attention on her spine. She saw it in the mirror when he finished and she was livid. But hey, what's she gonna do? She didn't pay him and wasn't going to pay him and expected hours and hours of work. You give a lot of trust to somebody when they take a needle to your skin to lay down something permanent. Don't stiff your artists. Hey man, she got what she deserved. If you're not gonna pay your artist and they're doing all this work for you, and then you are like, you know what? I'm not just gonna pay you at all. You don't deserve money for this hours and hours of work you did for me. Well, you get what you get. And apparently that's a massive weenie on your back. I don't like liars. This happened 5+ years ago, and it's still one of my proudest moments. I was dating this guy, Dan, going through a custody battle with his ex-girlfriend over their toddler. We worked at the same bar with this girl named Billie Jean. Billie Jean was an old friend of Dan and had worked with him before. She also had previously worked with the mother of Dan's child, Rachel, and everyone was seemingly friends and remaining civil, or so I thought. Billie Jean had secretly taken sides and wrote a terrible affidavit lying about Dan. Dan somehow got a copy of it. I don't remember how the court process went. As I was reading it, I kept getting more and more irate. I hate liars, and one thing I really feel that crosses a boundary is using a child for leverage to hurt the other parent. Billie Jean was knowingly lying under oath and siding with Rachel to prevent Dan from parenting his kid, and he was by no means a bad dad. Well, Billie Jean had enemies that I worked with and had easy access to contact. These enemies had sold Billie Jean a car that she wasn't paying them for. I didn't necessarily like the people who owned the car, but the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I called them up and I told them I came in peace. I asked if they had Billie Jean's address to get their car. They did not. I passed off Billie Jean's info and waited for her to call me. Now I was one of 2 people who could have ratted on the location of the car, and when Billie Jean called me to tell me that her car got repoed, she said she had no idea who could have done it. It could have either been me or her ex, Robbie. I tell her casually, I don't think it was Robbie, and I swear up and down she responded with, well, who would have done it then? I held back laughter and finished the conversation with half-assed, oh, I don't know, that's so weird type comments until she hung up. Dan was next to me in the car snickering. Dan won shared custody of his child, and Billie Jean lost her bar job because she didn't have transportation to work an hour away. To this day, I wonder if she ever pieced together that it was me. I don't like liars. I think that is completely fair, because if you're gonna lie in a place as big and as serious as court, then bro, you deserve to have something bad to happen to you, especially if you're trying to take a dude's kid away. Like, come on, bro. Really? Thanks for joining me into this deep dive in the world of pro-revenge on Reddit. I hope you guys found these stories as entertaining and satisfying as I did. If you have your own revenge tale to share, feel free to drop it in the comments below. I always love hearing from you guys. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on future videos. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.